Have you spent hours or maybe even days building and making this beautiful report only to realize that no one is looking at it? It's frustrating, isn't it? I think we've all been here at some point where you start out with good intentions to make better decisions based on analytics data. So you invest some time, you invest some money, but several months later you realize that everybody seems to have gotten back to the way it was before. In this video I'm going to give you 5 tips to make reports that people will actually use. Alright, let's go. Welcome to the channel, my name is Leon. This channel exists to help you grow your website and make better decisions in your daily work using your analytics data. If you like what I'm doing, please click the like and subscribe buttons down below. That would really help me get this video out to as many people as I can. Also, if you want to watch more videos, there's a link in the video description to a playlist full of videos just like this on how to build beautiful reports within Google Analytics. So the premise of this video is to make reports that people will actually use. And the reason I'm making this video is because in the last couple of weeks a client sent over a report that they're using that an agency made for them, and when I opened up that report I almost got a panic attack. Of course I didn't really get a panic attack, but I hope you understand what I mean. There was just so much noise, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I have a hard time processing lots of information, especially if lots of that information is not really relevant to me and that information is not structured in a clear and concise way. And I believe a lot of people have the same problem, especially if their calendar is full, and almost everyone's calendar is full these days. But think about your manager, think about your supervisor, think about the owner of the company, the CEO. They're probably not gonna spend hours or even minutes going through your report, trying to understand what it means, Googling some definitions. If your report is not instantly valuable, they will leave it aside and move on with their life. That's why you should aim for instant gratification. If someone opens up your report, it should be immediately clear what it's about, what it's for, and it should be also immediately valuable to them. And in the next couple of minutes I'm going to give you 5 tips on how you can achieve this. So my first tip is this: whenever you set out to make a new report, sit down, ideally with the person that the report is for, and ask yourself this question: what kind of decisions will we be making using this report? Because reports are really just decision-making tools, and if you're unclear on the decisions that you will be making using the report, you're probably going to be unclear on what needs to be in the report. And this is really a good lens whenever you need to decide, does this table, does this bar chart need to be in the report or out of the report? Just think about the question, does it help with making this decision, yes or no? So I'm going to give you a couple of examples of types of decisions that you're probably going to make reports for in your career. And the first type of decision is just really common. It's just spending decisions. For instance, on your website or your online strategy, you want to know, are we on track? Where do we need to spend more? Where do we need to spend less in order to get more results, or in order to stay on target, in order to get the growth that we want? It's really, what channel should we spend more on? What channel should we spend less on? Where should we put our time, effort and money in order to get the growth that we want? And are we really on track with our targets? The second example that I have is in content marketing. Whenever you make a dashboard for content marketers, the types of decisions will be really different. It's more in line with what type of content do we need to create in order to reach our goals? So it's not really about spending, but it's more about creating and producing the right content. And the third example that I want to give you is for product owners. So if you're making a report for product owners, usually building out a digital product, an app or a website, and they're really thinking about, is our onboarding flow functioning as it should? Or how can we improve the engagement in our app? So it's a different type of decision, and therefore it's a different type of report. So again, my first tip is, what kind of decisions will we be making using this report? If you're unclear on the type of decision that you will be making, you're probably going to be unclear on what needs to be in there and what you need to leave out. So my second tip is, keep your reports as simple as you can. We already said that we're aiming for instant gratification. We want people to open up the report and instantly know what they're looking at. And we want them to instantly get value out of it. And the only way we can do that is to keep our reports as simple as we can. And don't get insecure about it. Especially beginners often have the tendency that they want to show off what they can do with this data thing because they're really a little bit insecure about it. And then they just add every bar chart and line graph imaginable, and the whole report just gets unbearably overwhelming and everyone just throws it away. We need to keep it as simple as possible. So be brave and make firm decisions on what needs to be in the report and doesn't need to be in the report. People will really appreciate the clarity and the brevity that you use and the fact that you respect their time. So the way I like to look at this is, what are the 3 main KPIs that this person really needs in order to make the right decisions? To get you started, really common metrics in a website dashboard are the number of users, how many people are we reaching with our site, bounce rate, because it's just really a nice metric that shows, are we reaching the right audience or are we just getting really low quality visitors on our site, people that don't need to be on the site? Should we really be reaching a different audience? And the number of conversions. How many job applications did we have? How many revenue did we have last month? Those 3 KPIs in many website dashboards are really the main KPIs. So maybe that will get you started. And there's always the person inside the organization that asks for a little bit more. And then you need to make a good compromise. And what I really like to do, and this may be a little bonus tip on the site, I work a lot in Looker Studio, and what you can do over there is you can make a folder and you can make new pages in the report, and then you can stuff those pages inside that folder. And that's just a fantastic way to compromise. When people come to you and say, hey, I really missed this and this and this in the report, but you don't want to stuff the main report as full because you want to keep it as simple as possible. Well, what you can do is just make another page, put that in the folder, and then you can even link from the main report into that folder. So if people want to know more about a specific topic, for instance the channels, they can just click the link and end up in a new report. And that's a good way of keeping the main report as simple as you can while keeping your friends inside of the organization. So my 3rd tip is this: think about what part of the website is relevant for this report, because many people are not working on the entire website. They are just working on a part of the website. For instance, if you have a website that's aimed at multiple languages, multiple countries, you often find that the people inside the organization are just working on the website for a specific country. So it's no use for them to see the KPIs over the entire website, but they want a filtered down report that's just aimed at their country. However, it is relevant to them to compare that country to other countries or to the whole. But you need to start that report by giving information about that country and not the entire website. So here's my 4th tip. Create a data-driven culture inside of your team by establishing monthly or weekly rhythms. So it could be really simple. It could be that you're sending out an email or messaging via Slack. It's just what your team is using at the moment. You could even append it or prepend it to an existing meeting. So you're just giving a monthly update for just 2 minutes in a meeting that's already there. But it's really important that your reporting is not a one-off thing, but it's really something that gets embedded in the culture, in the rhythm of the organization. This is really how you shape the culture of your organization and make it more data-driven. So my 5th and final tip for you is this: do the work for them. Because people will often ask for data, but what they really want is insight. Sometimes a handwritten message that accompanies your report is way more valuable than the report itself. Just a message that states, hey, I went ahead and analyzed the numbers, things are going fine, or things are going not so well. And where you give some recommendations. For instance, you need to change this, or you need to maintain what you're doing, or you need to do some research on this and that. And then you state you find the report via this link, or the report is in the attachment of this email. Here is a very big opportunity for you as well, because if you can deliver on insights and not just on data, you become infinitely more valuable to your organization. It's just really important that if you state something as a fact, so for instance you say, hey, you need to stop what you're doing with this and this and this, you need to be very sure that you're backing it up with some data. If you want to learn more about how you can make good reports, I have made an entire series on the scoreboard framework, and I think you will like that very much if you're interested in that. Alright, that's it for today. Those were my 5 tips on how you can make reports that people will actually use. I hope this was clear, I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, please click like and subscribe. That would really help me get this video out to as many people as I can. If you want to watch more, there's a link in the video description to a playlist full of videos just like this. And as always, thanks for watching and have a great week. See you in the next video. Goodbye.